Well, we're off the beaten path now.
Cat lab. Nothing good can come of this.
You should be freaking out right now, shouldn't you? About what's happening here? Both of you should. This is a window. I think it's for... Oh, it's one of those creatures. I've seen them before. Notable findings for further study: high metabolic rate, sleep requirements very low, accelerated mental acuity and memory functions. Short-lived, muscle strength lacking. Oh yeah, we can go down there actually. This door doesn't work. Seemingly not. Up. Oh, now you guys notice me?
Guess you've got a reputation.
Be that scientist.
Oh, why did I do that?
What are they up to? Shit.
That wasn't a great idea. So they're examining species for their integration and whatnot. Refreshing to see people run away from me at this point, because for a while now I've been like, why doesn't anyone run from me? I'm so dangerous. Someone should care about living in this game.
Gotta get through these guys.
Boink. Bye-bye.
It'd be easier if the cat just handed the relic over.
Yeah, spare everyone the ammo.
And lives. Living people. Both cat and other.
I think we just found all the missing stasis pods.
Maybe the Salarians are still alive.
What happened here?
They're dead.
Who could do this kind of thing?
The cat, have you been paying attention? Oh shit. Oh, I can't get through there.
You! Do you hear me in there? I'm going to kill you myself!
Y'all ain't happy.
Bastard! You can't hide!
Oh, they shielded the view. Current testing subject is depleted. Or testing population is depleted. Specimens expire quickly when subjected to examination. Request more live specimens be transferred from captured enemy vessel on orders from the Archon. They're just wiping out all of them, one by one.
I've seen enough. Time to find that relic and stop all this.
This Solarian is missing organs. It appears he died after the operation.
They were alive while it happened? Cat butchers. They don't know the word mercy.
Are animals to them. Genetic material to be harvested.
Did I just increase my research data number? Which would then mean that I'm benefiting from unethical testing? That's a concerning thing about.
Someone's going to pay for this.
Take your anger out on them.
The scientists are a little low priority. They're monsters, but we have actual foes to deal with right now.
Die already!
Wow. Whoa, Jaw is making noises now. Hello. Oh, I hit the wall. There we go. Fly for me. Thank you. I hit the wall again? There we go.
Sam, how's it looking?
The Archon's... Ryder, caution.
Some kind of immobilizing field.
It's useless to struggle. I've been in this forsaken cluster for decades, surrounded by amoeba. Then you arrive, a human able to do the unthinkable. You even evaded me. Such an unlikely rival. Was almost invigorating to have one. And yet, it's a fitting end.
Is that what sad looks like? I'd give you a hug, but...
I'm gonna kill you, you bony freak.
A first son. Your testing begins now. I will learn your secrets soon enough. Report. Await my arrival. Save your strength, human. Reka must have run into trouble.
We have her beat. Sam, what can you tell me?
I'm sensing a biological transmitter in your bloodstream now, attempting to neutralize it.
Okay, that's priority 2 for sure. Any idea how to break out of this?
The containment fields only interact with living matter. If you expire, the field around you will extinguish until manually reset. As you know, my access to your physiology allows me to enhance your vital signals when required. I can also do the opposite.
So if you shut down my life signs, if you kill me, the field will disappear?
The one holding you, yes. Then I would attempt to resuscitate.
Are there any other options?
None that I can determine.
All right, let's do it.
Ryder, you're crazy.
It has been a pleasure.
Stopping your heart. Now.
Sam!
Stimulating the cardiovascular core. 0 activity. Stimulating the cardiovascular core.
How funny would it be if it just turned back on? It would just turn back on again. It's like, oh, well, that we didn't check to see if it would just reinitiate. This is embarrassing. Also, wow, who could have seen that this could have been a trap? Only somebody had anticipated that idea.
That's twice now I've come back from the dead. Can't say the experience is improving.
I believe it is preferable to the alternative.
You two look comfortable.
Just get us down from here.
Let's find a way out of this cage, huh?
There is a maintenance corridor connecting to this room.
Okay, must be a way to access it. I'll look for it.
Could be useful intel here. Might want to poke around while we can.
And so this specimen lays claim to a title?
Step away from
Among
there!
my people, I'm known as Moshai.
What's that? Here, you are nothing.
I am your enemy.
You serve a use, that is all. That's why you still live. You will
Archon, do you hear me? Now you have 2 Pathfinders to deal with, and we're not impressed with your security.
Huh.
Reka, come in. What's going on?
A little diversion. Captain Hager and Venro need time to set up the EMP. I'll be in touch.
That is one brave Salarian.
Huh. I guess I'll never find out what was on that audio log now. There could be intel around here. We should poke around. Oh, look, intel. Click. Loudspeakers everywhere, so much noise. Like, why now? That was terrible time. Also, it makes me look like an asshole. If I'm gonna hang out and do audio log listening, like, I'm like, they're literally fighting for their lives right now. Like, this would be like as if... Yeah. Oh no. I can't even, it's hard to even come up with examples. Like, it's insane. Like, they're fighting for their lives right now. There's only 3 of them. They're not trained for combat. Well, 2 of them aren't, probably. And I'm gonna hang out and listen to audio logs?
I told you! I've never seen the relic before!
Pain will remind you. A final time. How does Meridian work?
I don't know!
Then the specimen will learn true agony.
Archon is generic evil man of evilness. Can you get how evil he is? He's so ruthless and evil and totally devoid of any personality. Ha! You've fallen directly into my trap. It's weird because this game parodies evil supervillain with the ship guy, or in Liam Costa's mission, but then does the evil supervillain with the ship guy with like the same personality but not played for laughs in the same game for the main story as the main antagonist.
Tell me what you know of Meridian. Is that why you're here?
Meridian? I've never heard of it. We just got here. It was a long trip and...
Again, tell me of Meridian.
I just explained. I don't know what that is.
Then what use are you?
What do you...
Dissect this specimen as you will.
Curious. But one lie and that can be broken.
You won't break something you can still use.
Clever prattle. Everything serves.
Before, maybe. But now, when I talk, you'll listen.
That one re-listenable? Oh, weird. None of the other ones are.
Curious. But one lie and that can be broken.
You won't break something you can still use.
Clever prattle. Everything serves.
Before, maybe. But now, when I talk, you'll listen.
Weird. The audio logs just aren't coded consistently, so all the other ones you can't listen to more than once, but that one just is repeatable for some reason.
Where are you from?
A different galaxy. We call it the Milky Way.
Why did you come here?
We're settlers. Just looking for a place to live.
Speak the truth. Where is your invasion force?
We're not invaders! Please, who are you people? We don't mean any harm! Wait! Ah! I can't tell you what I don't know!
You lie. Where is the one you call Pathfinder?
I don't know! Ah!
Well, the torture probably explains why they know about the Pathfinder at the very least. Although all of the torture victims seem completely bloodless and unmangled. They're just regular bodies hanging out.
The reports are true. Strangers have arrived on our borders. Specimens we've never seen. We captured a lone vessel. The occupants claim they come from another galaxy. Milky Way, they call it. A great opportunity lies before us. A treasure of fresh specimens. Genetics shaped by forces outside our galaxy. This could be quite the prize.
They're so hungry. I don't know what the future of BioWare will be. And they're working on Anthem now, which is a whole different beast. But if they ever make another, like, regular single-player action RPG thing again, I hope we get another smaller story again, like Dragon Age 2, where it's like the problems of a single town. Maybe give us an interesting Han Solo style character that just has personal problems and chooses to help or not help people, almost like a Fallout protagonist or something. Because this whole Fate of the World thing, it gets stale, but also even the good BioWare games and the bad BioWare games, like, they don't have a lot of ideas of types of enemies to deal with when you're dealing with a large-scale conflict. Like, we have reoccurring concepts of genetic theft and turning people into the thing, like Darkspawn or Collectors and so on and so forth, like, and Reapers, like, and now Ket. Like, they can't get past that concept of enemies that are modifications of your allies and stuff like that. Just something smaller, like being a small town sheriff dealing with the local baddies in this space cowboy land or something. I don't know.
One of the specimens, a human, has done the impossible. It spoke to the remnant machines. By some unknown power, it enforced its will on the old technology. The machines responded. The weather had changed. For years, we toiled in misery trying to understand it, and this newcomer succeeds in one day. At all costs, we must obtain this specimen. The implications for Meridian are extraordinary.
Well, he's dead. So unless you found his body. Now I'm trying to remember because it was so long ago. Like 4 months ago. What happened with the Pathfinder's body? Did we retrieve it or did they retrieve it? Tech. I don't remember who ended up with our body at the end. Our dad's body. If we didn't retrieve it, that'd be weird because it's full of important tech that we wouldn't want the enemies to receive. That clearly not friendly. Major organs missing. Basic, more or less the same information as before. Alright, let's go find more audio logs as our Solarian friends are dying elsewhere on the ship. Literally trying to fend people off as a diversion while they set something up and you know. As ordered, search teams have been dispersed to find more specimens from the Milky Way. The Solarian specimen claimed knowledge of additional species called human, Turian, Krogan, and Asari. We are in the process of collecting members of all species for study and eventual exaltation. You know what might be interesting for a game is to have an Archangel game. Mass Effect Archangel. That's a pretty good video game title, actually. Like a name? That's not bad as names go. So having a name like that, and it would be the story of Garrus between Mass Effect 1 and 2. That's a window of era. That's almost the exact premise I was just thinking about, actually. Fittingly enough. These are the different scans of the different races. It is decent characterization of our enemies that they make a point to call people specimens that they haven't even captured yet. They specifically say, a specimen, talk to the Revenant. And it's like, a specimen? You don't have him, and you're calling him a specimen already. That's some special level of single-mindedness.
Most useful in these Solarians are their cognitive abilities. Their thought processes occur much faster than in the others. There is a cleverness about them, a cunning which could be leveraged. More work is needed to isolate the genetic markers. There is no shortage of specimens to choose from.
Admittedly, I think I like the Garrus idea, not just because it involves Garrus and Omega, but it would just have to be on Omega. They'd have to stick to one location and flesh it out and make it a diverse and interesting location, but not overindulge the way that both Inquisition and Mass Effect Andromeda have, which made them stretch way too thin and make the content way not interesting and way too long, as opposed to being dense and fascinating and whatnot, the way that some of the content used to be. That's actually not a bad idea for a game.
These Turians possess a useful exoskeleton. On harsh worlds, it could prove advantageous. More intriguing, there is discipline about them, adherence to militaristic order, an effective trait for instilling obedience. Additional specimens will be required for study.
Speaking of Turians, actually, I've talked a few times about how, like, people's the choice of, like, phrasing and, like, pop culture references and, like, turns of phrase and stuff like that are all, like, weirdly out of character, in my opinion, for some of the like, different alien species. It feels weird when they make references to human culture in weird ways when talking to each other, considering we're new additions to the galaxy and everything. I also found it weird that just recently, Vetra called the enemy guy, the Archon, she called him a bony freak or something, and I'm like, dude, you have an exoskeleton. Bony is a weird insult coming from a Turian.
The ones they call Asari, their reproduction is a mixture of biology, thought, and memories. They take what they need from a species, as they should. Reproduction cannot be left to chance. The superior race dominates. Yet these Asari pretend otherwise, a melding, they call it, embracing eternity. Biology has no use for poetry. In the end, their biotic traits may prove the most useful.
This probably disproves the, well, joke fan theory about the Asari. In Mass Effect 3? 2? 3? Shit, I don't remember which one though. Ilium. Mass Effect Ilium. Whoa, I'm blanking a little bit. The fact that I played all 3 games back to back very recently makes it a little hard to build boundaries correctly in my head. No, that must be 2, because it was where Liara was stationed as the Shadow Broker. And yeah, okay. So in Mass Effect 2 on Ilium, there's a group of different aliens talking to each other. There's a Turian, a Solarian, and a Krogan. And they're all talking about the idea that maybe, about how, like, obviously Asari look like them. Might have not been a Krogan, it might have been a human. Human, Turian, Solarian, I think that's correct. They were arguing about how Solarians look like each of their races more. And they were all, and then there was, like, this joke of, like, are they... you don't think that they're, like tricking us into thinking they look like us, like it's a mind control thing or some sort of weird glamour or perception field or something? But this is like a third... Oh, wow, this hologram freaks out and gets bright when I look around with the camera. The fact that there's a third-party hologram from the Ket would probably undo any potential idea that Asari somehow fool people into thinking they look like them with some sort of actual mind trick or something, because they're pretty much confirmed right there, look exactly like that. But that was already just always more of a joke, I think, anyway, though.
Among the new specimens, the human is the most perplexing. They possess an emotional range which often exceeds the others. Their unpredictable nature marks them as dangerous, but if the root of their passions could be isolated, we must identify a champion among them and capture it for further study. The Krogan are a brutish race, which could be useful. Redundant organs and a savage temperament. Made to kill. Even the other specimens fear them. A deliberate genetic fault was introduced to limit the Krogan population. But I wonder, without this defect, they could be unstoppable.
Ah. See, now that could even almost be an interesting thing. Like, what if the Ket promised the Krogans a cure for the genophage? I don't know. I'm thinking of a potentially interesting avenue of the idea of, like, Ket and Krogan allying with themselves, but god damn it, if they did that plot line for, like, the 3rd time, that would actually be really frustrating, so I don't really want them to go down the path of Krogans allying themselves with some sort of foe, because they might cure the genophage again, so I retract that.
Well, that did something. Let's look around.
Let's go in the opposite direction and look around for other audio logs. It was a really weird choice to give us this information dump room when everything seems to be in high stakes at the moment. I wonder if telling her to be careful and specifically let us handle it would have made her not show up and then not be on the audio log, and maybe that's like accidentally more like the canon version, because if she's not here, there's no urgency right now whatsoever because there's no time element. But right now it seems like they're in a horrible emergency and we're like really screwing them over by not leaving. It is weird how that's the only one that's replayable in the entire room. Yeah, I can't help but wonder if we did like essentially the non-canon solution. Kind of like how the game just assumes you're going to kill Axul and does dialogue based on you killing Axul even if you don't kill Axul. Wouldn't be surprised.
Here we go. This way. This'll be fun.
Hey, an abnormal location. Like that time that,
You guys hear that?
Nope.
Yeah.
Those are bad sounds. It's almost like that one time, though, that, the ship we were on with Liam got warped around. They're just dumping the pods down here. And whatever this ship sewer is.
Is this kind of evil universal? First the Milky Way, now here?
It gives us a chance to prove our own courage. Our determination to stop it.
That's a weirdly optimistic way to look at, like, genocide and unethical experimentation of unwilling partners and evil.
What was that?
We're not alone in here.
Let's not pretend to be afraid. It's just gonna be those guys again. There we go. Got him. Look at him go. Oh, he's adorable. Oh, how did I miss that? There we go.
Really starting to hate those things.
What was it doing here?
This is Reka. Some of our people are still alive. I'm headed there now. Captain Hazier, what's your status?
The EMP is primed and ready.
We're almost to the Archon's chamber. Stand by.
Looks like a Krogan.
It was. Probably one of Drek's missing scouts.
The DNA is Krogan, but drastically altered. It's clear the Ket are closing in on successfully exalting the species.
I'm beginning to hate these guys.
What was that
Well, here we
GoldenEye
are.
camera angle?
Captain Hazier, this is Ryder. We've reached the Archon's Sanctum.
Give the word and we'll set off the EMP. Should disable the guns.
Got it. Alright guys, we're looking for a remnant relic. Map of Meridian.
Why does he care so much about the remnant anyway? It's an obsession.
That's the question, isn't it? And we need to beat... There's the Solarian Ark. This is going to be one hell of a getaway.
There's the Solarian. Yeah, I was always there. That wasn't really worth interrupting the other dialogue for. There's the Solarian Ark we were just on that we already knew was there.
The Archon's anger will only get worse if we pull this off.
He needs to be stopped. What we've seen on this ship, it would be genocide for the whole cluster.
There's the relic. That's the one. I didn't really question those sweeping camera angles until it did that weird thing where, like, my entire interface was still on the screen, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, what's happening? When, like, the reticle and all the health stuff was on the screen during that sequence. That was different. Yeah, how monstrous are you if you create stuff out of remnant tech? I mean, Ket tech. Like, at that point, if you're using Ket tech to develop stuff, then you're, like, benefiting from the horrible genocide of countless races, probably. It's like creating stuff out of Reaper information, basically.
Remnant origin confirmed, though it's not the relic we're searching for.
Just saying, you better not be vegan at that point.
The Archon has done extensive testing to this artifact, damaging it in the process. It is no longer useful.
No longer useful, but it's giving us tech.
This object serves no useful purpose. It is the remnant equivalent of junk.
Then why did it give...
Archon is whistling in the dark on this stuff.
Why... If it's the equivalent of junk, why is it giving me tech points? Why is the so-called junk giving me tech points, Sam? What are tech points, Sam? Explain, Sam. You said this stuff is junk. Rubbish.
Pathfinder, this is the relic the Moshai described. It does seem to be a map. I'll overlay the chart we uncovered in the vault on Eos.
Is that?
It's Meridian.
Coordinates secured, Pathfinder.
So that's what you're after. There's more to Meridian than you know. Changing the weather is a fraction of its power, and I will not allow you to defile it.
I'm better equipped to handle it than you.
Why? Because you have artificial intelligence in your head explaining it. I've seen what transpired in the laboratory, and now I know what makes you special. Meridian is mine. I've tolerated you long enough. Once your vessels are destroyed, you'll be stranded here.
Captain, fire the EMP!
Done.
What was that?
Toka! Reza!
We sure could use this temper!
Can't help but think of that in this context. So, I mean, far be it for me to miss a chance to make fun of the animations in this game. That was a pre-animated cutscene that was a canned cutscene in the main story, in the possibly climax-ish of the game, and they fucked it up. Whoa, what am I standing on?
Raker's still trying to free the captives.
I wish her luck, but I can't talk right now.
You can't get me. You can't get me. Get him, guys. You can do it. Hey, shoot that dude. There you go. So, that was a pre-scripted cutscene where all they had to do was just make him not clip through something, but they still made him clip through something. He ran straight through one of the museum items in that cutscene. It clipped straight through it. I'm like, all you had to do is not do that. But also, all these items fell down when the EMP happened. How does EMP work? EMP knocked out all of the exhibits and now they fell down. But they're still using that door over there, and he was able to get out of his pod. And all these windows are covered in electric stuff. So I guess these get taken out by a surge. So how you doing, buddy? And also, they moved all these things and made them fall down, but there's still hitboxes down up here where they originally were. They didn't remove the original hitboxes. So, what I'm getting at is that this game's finished, and it's just so finished that I just don't know what to do with myself with how finished it is. It's really impressive how they finished it. It's really embarrassing when a game is unfinished, but also like 60 hours long or something, because that means they had time to make a proper game, but instead they made half of a proper game like 7 times instead of making just one proper game. So the game just keeps stretching and stretching, and they kept starting more and more things that they couldn't finish, and then none of it gets finished, and then they call them, and then like that's something that's like, who the hell produced this? Like, I'm not blaming the people that work on the individual elements of the game. Their job is to work on whatever their thing is that they're supposed to work on. But who the fuck managed this project that's supposed to be dealing with timetables and discussing, like, what can be handled and what's realistic and what should be canned so you can focus on the project and make it proper and everything? Who is that person? Doesn't, or people, actually, we know it's people because it changed hands. They just weren't good at it. Or they didn't have the power somehow to actually cancel stuff that should have been canceled, because like, this stuff shouldn't be happening. This is the main story. This is mandatory content. They shouldn't have problems like this. Why is Liam's side quest the most polished thing in the game? It's optional. Was that a vertical slice they made for some presentation somewhere? So I take it the Krogans are just the only one that's been successfully integrated out of all of them so far? Like, I assume we're supposed to think that every single cat so far was still ex-Angara, I guess is the implication here. Because this is the first cat we've seen that is not looking like a normal enemy. Well, there was the big guys, I suppose. which does give them the whole like this covenant feeling of like being an alliance of different races, but except they're all weird genetic experiment monsters, which would be interesting if it wasn't the plot of Mass Effect 3. And we already did this. Oh, now I'm wishing Drac was here. He probably would have had a cool cutscene. Oh. Well, there's no way I could have anticipated that without spoiling the game, though. But yeah, I wonder if Drac has a showdown with him.
You need to leave this ship.
No time to waste. I've been wasting the shit out of my time. You see me? Oh, there we go again. Wow.
Pathfinder,
Yeah.
there is little time to waste. You need to leave this ship.
All of the old hitboxes are still there. Every single one of them. Huh.